Get Slimmer of the Year. We all know how easy it is to fall off the diet bandwagon, so we thought we'd give our pet finalists and their owners a bit of inspiration by meeting a previous competition finalist. Prince the Cat was last year's runner-up. His battle of the bulge kicked off 2 years ago.
It just hit him and he put on a lot of weight. It was at 8 kilos, over 8 kilos. So that's when we realised, wow, we've got to do something because it could have health implications.
But the pampered pussy's eating issues started at an early age.
And when he was a kitten, we had him on Whiskas. He'd have 4 sachets of those a day. And on top of that, you also had some human food, which I shouldn't have been having.
Even though Mum Farrow realised Prince's human treats weren't doing him any favours, they were only part of the problem.
With the human food, sort of knew like maybe not good for him. But with the cat food, I had no idea. I'd never even turned the sachets around to see what was a recommended guideline. I didn't know we had to give him a certain amount. I just gave him whatever he wanted. So there was no sort of like routine in his diet. We didn't even know that that was bad for him.
After years of being fed on demand, Prince's reaction to his new healthy eating regime was less than charming.
Prince was being quite grumpy when he did stop the diet because he came from getting food when he wanted to us giving him food when we had to give him food. And we've had to be extremely strict, just had no treats.
And by the end of last year's competition, his weight dropped from 7.2 to 6.4 kilos. And after all the hard work, Farrah's hoping there's a fairy tale ending to Prince's story this year too.
It's very hard to say no to Prince, especially with big eyes. But I think because Prince was a runner-up last year, it really did spur us to continue his diet. So we're hoping we can push it down a little bit more now. So we have got former competitor Prince here and Farrah, you own Prince. Now, he's a little bit shy, isn't he? Yeah, he's a bit curious as to where he is at the moment. Yeah, so we'll be a bit quiet, a bit gentle. How's the experience? It was really good for Prince because when he started Pet Fit Club, he was officially 7.2 kilos. So he was really big. And he dropped down to about 6 within the year. Oh, wow. Yeah. What was it that made him gain weight in the first place? Well, we fed him a lot of food, cat food, as well as he was having milkshakes. What? Milkshakes? How was he managing to get hold of milkshakes? Well, one day we gave him some and he really liked it. I bet so then it became a regular thing. Right. And you also had these Indian sweets called jalebis. Okay. Which is almost like just like fried sugar almost, which is really bad for him, but he really, really liked them. I can understand why you found them quite tasty, but surely you must have known at the time that that wasn't very good for him. Or yeah, I think we sort of knew, but I think we just sort of found it cute. And so when he got put onto the diet, was he still going and searching out to try and get treats? Yeah, we've got a lot of elderly neighbours near where we live. So he goes out and he gives them the big eyes and he gets extra food from there. He still does that now as well. Wow. So we do struggle to keep his weight under control now as well. I was going to say, I mean, this is super Prince. Yeah, he's still got a long way to go. It's all about us managing the diet and trying not to let him get food from anywhere else, as well as sort of encouraging him to exercise, which is extremely hard for Prince because he's now 7. Right. So he's quite an older cat now, so he's not as active as he used to be. He prefers to sleep all the time, so... I bet there'll be ways. I suppose it's just finding out what those ways are. Yeah, I've had some great advice of like hiding his food and trying to encourage him to play games with it, so he hunts his food. Well, I'll tell you what, why don't we go and see Paul, our vet, and we'll have a little weigh-in and see exactly where Prince is now and see what Paul's got to say about it all.
Popping on here. Hello, Prince. So, milkshakes and fried sugar? Yeah. Not good for cats, who don't know?
Not good for me either.
So, Prince was 7.2 kilos when we started, and then at the end of the competition you went down to 6.4, so you managed to lose 11% of his body weight. No, I think that's really, really good. So we're just going to see what he weighs now. So today's weight for Prince is
that's not too bad.
6.5.
Oh dear, poor Prince. His weight has actually gone up from 6.4 kilos at the end of last year's competition to 6.5 now.
Okay, so the weight has crept back up. As the weight has crept back up, have the treats crept back in?
No, milkshakes, no anything at the moment with them, so...
So, where I find this difficult is dogs, they can only have what their owner gives them. With outdoor cats, how do you control what they're eating? Because obviously they can just go out and get stuff.
It's really difficult. If he's roaming around the neighbourhood, who knows who's feeding him?
If Prince stays at this weight, or as he has done, starts creeping back up again, what are the implications of that?
So, interestingly, you said he was 7 and you said he was an older cat. So cats are now living to 20. So for me, I still think he's a young cat.
Okay.
However, he's at the age now where if he stays at this weight, he'll become diabetic very soon.
Okay.
And that's really not what you want. So for me, I think he's at the ideal age to get some of this weight off.
So, a bit of a wake-up call in terms of the fact that he can't stay at this weight, otherwise, you know, the health concerns are really raised. You kind of know what to do. Maybe we can get Prince back on the straight and narrow.
Hopefully, yeah, we're aiming for about 5 kilos, 5.5.
5.5 is your aim?
Yeah.
I think you can do it. I think it's a little blip, and I think we'll be back on track. And next time I see you, I want him down to 5 kilos.
Brilliant, yeah. We'll
Deal?
try really hard, yeah.
Love that. No messing around. No messing around. What, 5.5? Well, that is it. Brilliant. Thank you very much for bringing Prince in, and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you for your help.
Well, Prince has shown us that even with a healthy diet, it can still be hard to stop that weight creeping back on.